I'm sitting here with my guitar playing songs I wish I'd written as the children laugh and dance around my feet. There's lyrics and there's melodies, all of which refer to me and the countless people that I meet. I've been here and everywhere, I walk the roads, I breathe the air, made friendships that'll never pass away. I've met peasants and great government gone hungry, but I paid the rent and always had a smile on my
Welcome
face.
to Wednesday night and Strange Theory.
Strange Theory.
Strange Theory.
Stranger Theory.
Stranger than Theory.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Cheers, brother.
Cheers, brother.
I'm JP Cormier. Chris Coot.
I'm the other guy.
The lovely Ginger's in the house.
She is.
As usual.
Can we say that she's in her pajamas and that she hasn't been out of them all day?
Oh, you mean a month. And
I know.
so,
I was out last night in the world,
yeah, I know.
dressed and showered and everything.
Big thanks to our partners, Boucher Guitars, Levy Straps, G&G Music, Antigonish, Fantasy in Halifax, K&K, Sound, Gallagher, Recording King, Alvarez, Yeri, Yamaha, James Martin Instruments from Ireland, Audio Sprockets, D'Addario, Brick House Guitars, Joshua House Guitars, Apollo Picks, Tone Right, Close Guitars. Just been recently reviewed and received very well. And our newest shop partner, Opry Music in Miramichi, New Brunswick. Mr. Vince Mullen up there. And yeah, exciting stuff.
The lovely Miramichi.
Yes, sir.
Right on.
So that's, how you been doing?
I've been busy. You kept me busy today.
You're going to be getting ready to fly soon, aren't you?
Hopefully Ginger and I will be going flying very soon.
Yeah. And then I'll be here all by myself, just
Y'all by your
sitting
lonesome.
here with a couple of puppets. Say, hi, Chris. Hi.
You'll just be
Hi."
able to play all these instruments
Well,
in peace and quiet.
yeah. I don't know how much fun that's going to be.
Well, we're airline pilots, Jim. We're not rocket
Jim.
surgeons.
Jim.
We only work 12 days a month at the worst.
That's correct. So, yeah, tonight's String Theory is brought to us by Ginger's
Semi-ripe
Organic
tomato.
Tomatoes.
Vine ripened
Vine
for your
ripened.
pleasure.
Vine ripened. Excellent. Excellent for sauces and compote. He's enjoying one right now.
Sure enough, I am.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
oh yeah, they're wicked.
It's like there's a party in my mouth and everyone's invited.
Good. Maybe you'll shut up.
That's just perfect.
Won't be able to talk with all them people in there. Thank Christ for that. Anyhow,
It's so juicy.
I know. We've been eating those for days. Like they're Ginger just completely,
It's a little leathery on the outside.
yeah, but inside
But it's one hell of a tomato on
it's
the
a
inside.
splash of flavor.
It is.
Yes, it's a splash of matey goodness.
Oh, dear.
He's gonna make it.
Excuse
Might
me.
need a blanket afterwards to clean up with, but so we'll take this fine opportunity to thanks. That's great, thank you. We'll take this fine opportunity to dial up our newest partner. Last week we spoke to Glenn, who's doing swimmingly well up there in Antigonish, as he always does. The number one Boucher dealer in the world, the number one Lakewood dealer in Canada. And I met we're about to call a couple of weeks ago when I was up in
The Miramichi.
the Miramichi. I was at the Rogersville Bluegrass Festival. And we had nothing to do in the morning before we went to the grounds and saw the sign. And Bill and I went in there, and this gentleman's just fabulous guy. And the shop is so cool because it's just like Glenn's and Stevens shops, right? It's a small, independently owned, welcoming place that he picks instruments just like the other two fellows that we work with. They pick instruments that you just don't find anywhere else, and it's so refreshing. As long as you know yourself, we couldn't get by without Long and McQuaid. They're like the Swiss Army knife of music stores. But if you want to go somewhere that's
Eclectic.
eclectic, quiet, where you can strike up an actual, a long-term relationship with the owner of
That's
the
it, yeah.
shop, who's got his life invested in, and this shop was passed down through his dad, right? So, yeah, we're gonna call Mr. Vince Mullen right now and just see how he's doing. He's waiting on us up there in New Brunswick, and he's gonna tell us all about the store, and we're gonna tell him about all the tomatoes we got here.
I hope he doesn't new phone who dis you.
Yeah, new phone, who dis? New phone, who dis?
Hello.
Vince Mullen, J.P. Cormier, and Chris here.
How you doing, boys?
You are live on String Theory, my friend.
Wow, am I ever... I don't believe I've ever been live on anything. That's pretty cool.
Does it feel different?
It very much does.
There you go. How's things in the Miramichi tonight?
Well, we're a little tomato less, but other than that, not bad.
Well, we just wanted to introduce everybody to you, Vince, and if you could, just give us a little bit of history about the store and yourself, and because you told me the whole story, and it was amazing.
Well, it is definitely quite a story. It goes back a long way. It's something that I've grown up around and with. My dad, wow, where do I start? With humble beginnings, I guess, in Red Bank, New Brunswick, Miramichi. And I'd like to say everything I do really is an homage to my late parents, Bill and Betty Mullen. I grew up in a family that owned a club in my front yard dedicated to the preservation of traditional country music in all its forms.
Yeah.
So my dad was a singer, songwriter, but mostly was a performer. He was known for that. He worked on heavy equipment, but in the last 30 years and stuff, our family actually lived on music. After my dad had gotten sick at one point, we got a band together as a family, and I recorded them on cassette, and we started, and he was selling those at festivals and such, and all these kinds of things. And we were always known for benefits and hosting and performing hundreds of benefits in our area. Started in the back of a garage, recorded them on radio, and that eventually turned into a facility that we have now still, that my parents have been gone for about 2 years, but seats about 150 or so, and
Wow.
that radio show turned into a Rogers TV show.
Wow.
Yeah, which is still actually on the local cable 10 channel here in New Brunswick, which is loved by the locals and stuff. People are still watching them.
Yeah.
And so now, as I say, you've probably noticed, it's not called Vince's Music Store. It's called Vince's Opry Music Store, and Opry is the key word, because of how proud I am of my parents, the whole heritage and everything, and I just want to keep all their accomplishments alive and remembered, hence the name.
Wicked.
That sounds incredible.
So, it really is quite a story. It's been quite a ride. And we were so fortunate to have been, have met so many wonderful people. We've had people there from all over North America to basically Bob next door. I can't imagine the amount of people that played on the stage for their first time there.
Wow.
And then we decided at some point, hey, well, why not a music store, right? Mm-hmm. And about 17 years ago, the Opry Music Store was born, and I took on that kind of job. And my dad and I worked at that, and my mom for quite a few years. And then about the last 10 years or so, I've pretty much done it completely myself. And yeah, we have a lot of fun there. We try to keep it very lighthearted. We try to, accommodate people in ways that you would never imagine you'd get accommodated. I will bend over backwards and make you, make you a saran wrap elastic if you need it. Whatever, right? So, not to continue here or anything, but just to let people know a little bit. My wife, myself, and I have another technician there that works there, kind of specializes in electronics.
Oh, nice.
We're at 115 Jail Street in Miramichi, right on the town square, right on the park. Very easy to find. We're on Facebook as well under my name or the Opry Music Store. And then, of course, as all music stores, I'm rambling here, but
No, this is great.
I just want to take the chance while I've got us to just tell people, we do what normal music stores do. We sell new and used instruments. PA, drums, all that kind of stuff. We do PA rentals, full service shop. I love doing restorations.
Wow.
I do
I didn't
some
know that. I
appraisals.
didn't know that about you.
Oh yeah, I love my restoration jobs and my instrument repair and stuff. And I built actually quite a few instruments back when I had my larger shop.
Right.
I built a few mandolins, a few guitars, stuff
Wow.
like that. But where I'm going to send done a lot of finishing, refinishing. But in the facility I'm in right now, I don't have quite that much room to do that. But I do, still stock quite a few hand-built guitars from locals around the area.
I played one.
And all that good stuff.
You
did,
had
actually,
one
yes.
in there when I was there, yeah.
Yes, that's right. That was one of the White Horse guitars, actually. He just recently brought me in another electric guitar, which is another beautiful little guitar. But that one you played for a little guy with, it was quite a little cannon.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Like, this is the type of shop that I've envisioned from the very beginning of String Theory, that I could find one of these shops in every province, right across to BC. And so you Vince are the first step in our ladder across the country.
Well,
First link in the chain.
First link in the chain, yeah. Yes,
So
sir.
Vince, for people who don't really know the area that well, Miramichi is kind of central New Brunswick on the eastern side. It's right pretty much smack in the middle of Moncton and Bathurst, north to south.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
you have many customers that come up from Moncton or drive down from Bathurst?
I do, actually. I get quite a few from Bathurst. I get a lot from down the Tracadie way, Ship again, down that way.
The
towards
Acadian
the coast
Peninsula.
as well. Yeah, we I have the most wonderful customers, the most faithful, wonderful friends / customers. No friend as in first before customer. It's just unbelievable. I cannot take this time to thank those people enough for all they do for us and how kind they are and wonderful they are to us. We have wonderful support, and I'm a very, very lucky man, and I know it.
Well, I think you fit into our little jigsaw puzzle pretty well.
Niche.
So before you go,
I think so.
before you go, give us an idea what some of the lines that you're carrying, because when I was in there, I was really impressed with some of the stuff you had hanging on the wall that you just don't see, like the super high-end D'Angelico acoustics. Like, he had one of the nicest ones I've ever seen. I almost bought it. It was that nice. Isn't that some guitar, that one I played?
That is a beautiful guitar.
Yeah, it really is. For $1,200, I mean, holy crap! It's the same, and that's why one of the reasons I love the shop. He also carries Guild, Gretsch, all of these things, but he didn't buy the low end of that spectrum. He bought the highest one.
Yeah.
Right, and that's where those companies shine, where you can buy a guitar that's $1,000 and it sounds like it's $3,000, right? So
I love those guitars, those $1,000 guitars that sound like the $2,500 guitars.
Yep.
That's what I look for day in and out.
Yep. So give us, what's the phone number at the shop, Vince?
The phone number is area code 506-836-9988.
Yes.
And we'd be happy to ship anything to anybody, anywhere they need, or if they have any questions, comments, anything at all, please feel free to call.
Well, that's awesome. Well, look, I'm telling you, we are super, super pleased you're with us. You're going to be putting part of the grand prize together for us over the next couple of months as you decide what you're going to throw in. And so there you go. There's Mr. Vince Mullen.
Sounds like a road trip needs to be planned.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same.
Yeah. Yep.
We've got and so much more to talk about, like what we mentioned, plus the everyday stuff like Takamine, Ibanez, Jackson Fender, Gibson, Hagstrom, Epiphone, Alvarez,
Wow.
PA, Mesa, Tama, Gretsch, all that stuff. I've pride myself in having a pretty good selection of fun
That sounds
stuff.
awesome.
That is deadly. So there you go, guys.
So,
if you
and you came in right in the literal, what we would consider the lowest inventory stocking time, basically in the middle of the summer. And
really,
and I think I probably had close to, when you were in there, probably close to about 100 stringed instruments hanging at the time. So, so it'll only get better.
Yeah.
Right on.
Well, we surely appreciate you, everybody. Vince Mullen, Opry Music, the Opry Music Store in Miramichi, New Brunswick, and give him a call. We're gonna put we'll find his socials and put him in the link somewhere. But the phone number is the best way to get a hold of him. We want to talk to him about all the really cool things he has at that store. It's a great spot, and we appreciate you a lot, Vince. Thank you so much for throwing in with us.
And I cannot explain how happy I am to be part of this, and I see the sincerity and I can imagine the fun we're going to have.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
just happy to be on board, guys.
All right.
Really, truly happy to be on board.
All
Look
right,
forward
brother.
to shaking paws there, Vince.
Yep.
Keep up that wonderful content, boys.
We will.
Talk to you soon.
Good stuff.
Thanks,
Good
brother.
stuff. All
Stay
right.
safe.
Go easy on the tomatoes.
Okay.
Thank
Save
you.
me one.
Yeah, we will. We'll save you a bunch.
We'll mail you one.
Okay, sounds good.
Tomato paste.
Thanks, brother.
Later, gents. Have a good night, brothers.
Cheers.
Vince Mullen, everybody.
Bye. And hello to the missus of the house as well.
Oh yes, the ginger. Yes, sir. We won't
Yes,
forget her.
Ginger as well. Okay.
There you
All
go.
right. Cheers, guys.
Thanks, Vince. There you go, Vince Mullen. What a wonderful man, and he's just a big old burly country boy like me, with the beard, and he's also a tremendous musician.
You're a little north of Burley, my friend.
Well, yeah, he's a little more svelte than I am, but
You're more like
yeah,
Felt.
Yeah, you just had to go there, didn't you?
Yeah.
You went there, didn't you? Oh, that's all right.
It's a tomato. It's got me all jacked up. What's Ginger putting in those tomatoes anyway?
Those are actually tobacco.
They're actually fertilized with a lot of coffee, so.
You got MSG in there?
The first Kirsten tonight goes
Yes.
to
It's a super chat from Jasper North,
yes, Jasper North. How are you doing, buddy?
who is in Amsterdam,
Yes.
and
Nice.
he's a pilot on the 321.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sweet.
I like the cut of his jib already.
There you go.
So he says D18 with the K&K. Travis picking performance with vocals in a small bar, 20 persons max. What amp, what mic, and what cables? Thanks.
The only amp that I've ever used that I liked is the Fishman Artist Loudbox.
Mhm.
And the Fishman Artist Loudbox. Let me get my air port on again here.
Difficulty there.
And
Any difficulties?
Fishman Artist Loudbox. I am a fan of Ernie Ball cables and Monster cables, and Fender are the ones that I use. But the cables now last so long you don't have to buy them. And the vocal mic I would suggest for you would be a Shure Beta 87A. Those are the best vocal mics you can use live, and that's what I've been using for years.
And if you're buying a microphone, treat yourself to a new microphone,
Yes.
especially in
Yeah.
today's world.
Yeah, don't buy used mics. Buy a brand new Beta 87. They're
Yeah.
only about, what, $300?
Yep. And they're rock
Canadian,
solid.
so that's way less probably over there.
Yeah.
And, Europe has slightly better prices on a lot of these things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I would use.
It is a condenser, but it doesn't come with a lot of the difficulties that people associate
Exactly.
with condensers.
The Fishman Artist Loudbox has a mic channel.
Right.
You can literally put your guitar and your voice to the same speaker, and it sounds fine.
Mm-hmm.
For 20 people, there's no problem putting.
Yeah.
It'll handle that all night long.
Yep.
Tons of power, tons of clarity. The same exact EQ on both channels.
In fact, we're looking at one right now.
I'm looking right now, the one that I play through all the time. It has,
In fact, you'll be playing through it Saturday night.
that's a possibility. Yes, play through it often.
We'll be hearing it live.
I get paid by the note, as you know. And
Next.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Jesus, a lot of super chats.
Mm-hmm.
There is. Second one is from Ralph Prosha.
Ralph.
Which guitar do you like better, the Close or the Journey?
I don't know the Journey. That's the one that was at Stevens, right?
It's the one that Steven showed us, yep.
I really can't make a comment on it because they're all like composite instruments of any kind are not.
They're purpose-built. They're not artistically built.
Yeah, they're not. They aren't about sound or any of those things. They're about functionality in adverse conditions. And if you can find one that sounds good to you, then you've got it made.
Yeah.
because that's the guitar you can take out into really shitty conditions, like super high heat and humidity or super cold, and it'll never structurally fail. So that's the bottom line.
Unless you fly United.
Right. Then you're just going to be playing carbon splinters.
Or you just take the neck off and put it in the overhead bin.
The nice thing about the Journey was that it came with its own travel case.
So do these.
Like, yeah, but it was a real system that was really, really high tech.
Yeah. No, this one is too.
And that one is
part
too.
of the case is
Yeah.
missing.
Right.
They're out of them. So it's exactly the same system.
I got to say, the Close doesn't look quite as techy as the
the journey. They attempt to make it look more like a guitar.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the action on the Journey, which is the same thing with every detachable neck guitar I've ever played, except these. I don't know how they do it or how they decided to just do that, but this guitar plays like my action that Doug Sampson says for me. He's even better than that in certain ways, right?
That Doug Sampson.
So
guy,
yeah,
he
Doug
doesn't know what
Sampson,
he's
so-
doing.
So it's like it's you can't really compare them because they're all not really guitars.
Right.
They're not designed to compete with a Martin or a Bourgeois or a
different
Boucher.
animal.
It's a different animal, and frankly, you got to just find the one that really speaks to you, and that's that, right?
Yeah.
The one thing that between these and the Journey is that this is a 4-screw system that's literally done with a screwdriver, but theirs is a cam, a big locking cam, and there's a wedge and lever, and you don't loosen the strings off with their guitars. These you do.
You do, yeah.
And that's but what does that really even mean, right?
That comes with its own set of problems as well, right? Because
exactly.
you need locking tuners.
Yes.
And
yeah.
a locking or a guarded nut so the
Yeah.
strings don't fall out when the tension's
Yeah.
off of them. And yeah.
So it's a whole other world, and you just got to find one that you like. And I love this one, and I'm sure that if I tried more of them, I'd find other ones that I thought were viable, right? But I mean, that's just the bottom line.
Yeah.
It's whatever speaks to you, and whatever fits your budget, whatever fits your playing style, your travel schedule, all those things.
Whatever tickles your bird.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Whatever bird
So
you
to
tickle.
speak.
Next.
Next is Helgi Brandl.
Hoagie what?
Helgi? Helgi.
No, that's new.
They just upgraded to Master Guitar Head.
Aha! Welcome to
Welcome to the
the
Master List.
higher echelons
They
of
have-
greater being.
They have made it through the finely crafted labyrinth we have created.
Yes,
to elevate.
the finely crafted labyrinth gauntlet of bullshit and savvy.
I wonder how many scars they've acquired
Yes,
through their
how
journey.
many stripes upon their back do they now carry?
Well, here's to you.
thrice-ly into the okay.
Yeah.
It was always
That was
It's
close.
empty.
Fiddly potatoes to you.
Oh dear. So their upgrade comes with a question.
Okay,
What are the best picks for flat picking in your opinion?
flat ones.
Oh, yay.
Boom.
Yeah. Again, it's all about personal taste. My favorite flat picks right now are Apollos because they have the best tone, the fastest speed, the best bevel, and are the most have the most longevity of anything that I've ever played. They outdo even blue chips, in my opinion. But you might not like them because you might not want to pick that is that heavy, or even beveled, or any of those. It has to do with your right hand technique, whether or not you're just playing rhythm, or if you're trying to play, rhythm like melody and leads and fiddle tunes and whatever. I mean, I've seen a good example, right? Like this, we're all so different. I know 1,000 guitar players, and they all use different picks, and picks you sometimes wouldn't think they would use. Like Darren McMullen still uses a 1 mil nylon Jim Dunlop,
Right.
black, and those things sound like crap. But he makes them sound like
Good.
tortoise. It's all his attack, and that's the bottom line. I have a mason jar, a pickle jar over there that's full to the top of flat picks. I also have an actual, like a leather case over there, which is filled with high-end picks like Blue Chip, Wiegans. There's more Apollos coming, and it's.
You generally use a larger pick, I've noticed.
I do
Than a lot of
but
players.
Guess what? Right now,
your pocket.
if I pull what's in my pocket out, if it's still in there, it might be over in the credenza. But
The yellow one?
yeah, is it over there?
Yeah.
So this is a good example, right? Like I just lost I still have one Apollo left, but I lost it to Danny Maillet. But right now, what I'm using while I'm waiting for my new Apollos to come is this Ernie Ball Everlast, which is a Delrin pick, and it's not beveled. I had to use it for quite a while before it got that horrible edge off of it, right? And now it's beautiful, but it won't last. It'll never last.
You'll chew it up.
Yeah. And it is small. Like I need my picker's grip for this pick.
Yeah.
And it's a 1.5 millimeter, which theoretically for me is a little light. I usually put a 1.75 is where I'm sitting normally.
You're fairly staunch. You don't
Yes.
want a lot of give.
No give. But this thing works great, and it's got great tone. It's not as big as I would like it, but I wanted to try it. I'm a big fan of Ernie Ball stuff, and it's a fantastic pick. And they come in a bag of 5 for $6 or $7. They're great picks,
Right.
but they're not something you cherish and put in your pocket for months. They isn't going to last that long. So that's what I mean. I can switch through any pick mostly, unless if I play too long with a really good pick, I can't switch out of them. If I go back to that after playing with an Apollo for 3 months, I'll sound like a bear.
Bag of hammers.
Sound like a bear cub playing with his dink. Right? It's just horrible. So you got to kind of be careful what you get used to. I guess is what I'm saying. But
So do you find that makes you work harder?
initially,
Yeah.
but then it just muscle
away.
memory. Yeah, it just comes back to me. As I always used, like Doc used picks that were shaped like this, 1 millimeter Herco nylons, I have some of those in that jar, and they're indestructible, but they're real floppy, and the tone is weird. Well, not weird, but it's Doc tone. But you have to use it a certain way, or it doesn't sound like anything, right? So I was always used to using this shape, but then when I first discovered Wiegand, which came in the big triangle size.
Right.
And Clayton is another one that's basically the same thing. And matter of fact, that's the picks that I have my name on. I get a bag of 100 of them in there, and I love them. But they're like this. You got to play all 3 corners for quite a while to get the bevel on it. But the good thing about this material is that when you do that, you get a custom bevel because your playing is creating the bevel.
It's wearing into your style.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why Apollo picks are so magic, because he just seems to know. He bevels them by hand, highly polished, and the bevels are perfect. Like it's like I don't know how he does it, but his picks are so comfortable, and they just play like lightning right out of the bag, and that's odd. Even blue chips don't do that. You got to kind of work them in, right? So my suggestion is have fun with this process, and don't be afraid to spend $50 on a pick, because I'm
have
telling you,
started collecting
some of those picks are absolutely worth it. The blue chips, the Apollos, the blue chips. Look at that. And these are all picks that I would use when I stock my cases when I'm going out on the road. I'll grab 5 or 6 picks out of this. Now, just to give you an example of what's in here. Again, now we have a big one of these treated picks that has the powder that sticks to your fingers is another Ernie Ball product called the Prodigy, which is a big triangle sharp tip pick. We have these things, which are really interesting, Snarks. They're okay, but they only last about one show. And a variety of, whole variety of finger picks. And then here's another Delrin product that I love is the Tortex, the Dunlop Tortex, the big purple triangles. I also have these as teardrops. And there's probably
Gonna be 500 picks in there.
yeah, but there's probably 20 brands or
Right.
more, and they're all picks that I would use without any problem. But they might have.
You don't want to use that pick.
No, you don't. That's a sandpaper pick for shaping the snark. But there's no point because the snark wears out so fast. You don't need to shape it. So, yeah, it's really fascinating. Actually, picks are a lot of fun, and they will inspire your playing. Believe it or not, if you get the right pick. Get the right tone, the right speed going, the right comfort level in your hand. Picks make all the difference in the world. It really do. So, connects. Yeah.
There you have it.
Next is a super chat from Michael O'Coin.
Michael O'Coin, good to see you back, buddy.
I caught up on the last few issues of A Life in Music this week on my 110-inch projector screen
Woohoo.
and had nightmares about the size of JP's head for 3 nights.
Yeah, that's a lot of
I wouldn't-
JP right there.
That's pretty bad.
That's a
110-inch
lot of JP.
face.
Yeah, that's not good.
Oh dear.
He was staring right up your nostrils.
Most likely. And there's nothing up there you want to see.
Oh dear.
What else you got?
That's it for his question. That was just more of a information.
I love the sound of this guitar. It's really funky.
Boombox, isn't it?
It is. It's got a lot of personality.
Yeah.
We'll take another question.
All right, we got a
This
super
is the
chat.
waiting for question music.
Super chat from Colin Doolan.
Colin Doolin.
Hi JP, love the channel. What do you think of the Yamaha NCX series? I have a 10-year-old NCX 1200R and I love it. Fiddle-dee-dee from Ireland.
I know why you're playing that guitar.
Fiddly-dee.
You're probably playing that guitar because Stephen Cooney doesn't play Yamahas, but he plays gut strings. The NCX series is incredible, and I actually gave, if you've ever, I'm sure you've seen Tim Eady play in the last 10 years. Well, the Yamaha that he plays, which is an NCX, I gave it to him. It was a gift to me from Yamaha. And when I first met Tim, he was playing this ancient Takamine that was literally just falling apart. And Tim came over for Celtic Colors, and I had this guitar. It was beautiful. Like Yamaha. I can't say enough about Yamaha. I just bought another one 2 days ago. I bought a Yamaha electric that's just unbelievable. And he heard that guitar and went, whoa. And plus their proprietary pickup system in it, right? Like just designed for what he does or what anybody that plays that kind of guitar does, right? And so he loved it so much, I gave it to him.
He's got to be the most animated, happy guy playing a guitar
He's also
I've ever seen.
He's also probably the best guitar player in the world too, in my opinion. Him and Tommy
pretty
Emmanuel.
stellar.
There's not too many guys that can do what either one of those people can do in their fields. So Tim he's superhuman. What he does, it doesn't seem possible what he does, but it is. And I've done it with him for many, many years. And that guitar, that's what
soldiering
that.
on.
Yes, sir. He's got new ones now, I think, because people are wanting him to play, like building him custom instruments and stuff. But he still plays that Yamaha. He still mostly plays it, as far as I know. And it's still, I mean, he's hard on guitars. He's a heavy-handed player, very robust player. But that guitar doesn't even quiver. You can't scare that thing at all. And that's a Yamaha for you, boys. I'll tell you.
Yep.
Yeah. So
We just put a K&K in another Yamaha.
We
today.
did. We put a K&K in my double L56 today.
That's a beautiful guitar inside and out.
Oh boy, I'm playing it for the first time out in public this weekend. It's gonna be fantastic.
I'll be
Can't
there.
wait. That's right. You'll be mixing or helping to mix.
Yeah.
You'll be doing stage.
I'll be just watching her go, but I look forward to hearing that.
Yeah, it's gonna be deadly.
That's the big test.
That's
Saturday.
true. That's true. You gotta get them out on the stage before you know what they're like.
Yeah.
But yeah,
By looking at it today and getting to work with it and get inside it and stuff, it is just put together
oh my god,
so amazingly well.
yeah,
Yeah.
neck like butter.
I like the insides of them.
Yeah, yeah,
You like the outsides of them.
yeah. The first thing he does to all my guitars is takes them down to the shop and puts a light and a mirror in them.
Yeah.
That has to that's the test that must be passed,
That's
right?
the test, yeah.
Because it's true in a way. You know?
And we didn't
Yeah,
have to
how
touch a
mu-
thing in that guitar
No,
before
God,
we
no.
installed the pickup. The
Nope.
bridge, the bottom of the bridge plate, absolutely clean, flat, and ready to go.
You have a great point along those lines, and you've told me this, and I when you first told me, I discounted it a little, but now that we're doing these things doing this stuff all the time, and I see what is going into it. You told me a long time ago, if they don't care about the inside of the guitar, they probably don't care about the outside either.
Or the way it sounds.
Right. And that's right. It's absolutely true. Because we've seen guitars on this bench, on our bench here working on it, and he goes inside the guitar and there's glue blobs and there's
hairs hanging off
hairs, sawdust sticking off
Yeah.
like big pieces of wood sticking off the bridge plate.
And holes are like even the bridge pins.
Yeah.
Today I could just get inside and I could take my fingers and run right across.
Inside is finished as nice as the outside
I've had guitars that took an hour's worth of work
to get at the inside so it was clean.
just to get it to the point where you could install a pickup in it.
Yeah. It's really weird.
Yeah.
But you're exactly right. And I've seen it many times where we put a guitar up, looks really good on the outside, but you put it and you look on the inside, you realize
Stuff isn't fitting right.
yeah,
Stuff's not
they
cut right.
They didn't think about it.
Yeah.
Right? And that's not good.
Yeah.
And there's some surprising makers that you'd think you wouldn't think. Mm-hmm. And then you
Some of the biggest makers.
Yeah.
But that's where they are when they assembly line things and they get into production quotas.
Yeah.
Where they only have
12,000 guitars a month.
right. They only have so much time for each guitar. Now, that's not to say that a line built guitar can't be
Oh yeah.
really nice because there's plenty of examples
Can
of
be a
them.
monster.
Yeah, that
A
are.
monster.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen as often as a small bench
Yeah.
shop.
That's it.
That's all.
Good.
You might be frozen. I'm not really sure. Hard to tell.
Oh, you might be frozen?
Well, the
She's
chat's still
never
working,
frozen.
but
She's
I
a
don't know if
ginger.
it's my
She's hot as
internet or
hell.
the. We'll see what happens here.
Do you mean we're frozen?
It's a possibility.
I don't feel frozen.
No,
Yeah, just keep going. It actually comes out in the wash, I think.
it'll come out eventually. Yeah.
There's been times when we were supposed to be frozen, but I go back and watch it after and everything was there. And we're walking around, picking our noses. And
Oh, that's embarrassing.
that's no good. Okay, next.
Super chat from Bram Avery.
All right.
There's a guy we know.
Yeah.
JP, I know that you're a big proponent of doing a very true to the original version of other people's songs. What's your opinion on rearranging and performing your own versions of them?
I do it all the time. I mean, mostly I just, the main thing that I do when covering other people's songs is take it into the acoustic realm. And that's one of my favorite things is to take songs that are clearly electric, huge band, 80s, 90s, whatever production.
Strip it down.
And strip it down to where it's either a bluegrass band or some
Just bare bones treatment.
Yeah, but replacing the things in the original recording with acoustic instruments. Like
Sometimes it ends up being so striking when that's done, though, that you're like, oh my God, that was a absolutely brilliant, beautiful melody line that you didn't get with all the 80s crap piled on it.
Yeah, that's happened to me a lot.
Yeah.
And me and Dave have done it too. When we cut songs that were, clearly massively produced. And when you hear them when you hear all the parts being actually played,
Yeah.
right, in a space instead of being crushed by that kind of production value and mastering, you realize how brilliant the writers and arrangers
Exactly.
were, right? They and you realize what the earworms were in it. I've done that before too. Thought, went to go record a famous song, and thought, this is the earworm. But when I started to play the parts, I realized it was misdirection. It was another thing that was really cutting through and catching the ear and made you think of the song that you're dealing with. There's a lot of that in these well-produced songs. There's a lot of misdirection. You think it's something, but it's actually subliminal, or it's the sum of several parts that creates the earworm, and that's fascinating to me. I love doing that. I love covering stuff and trying to reproduce everything in it without the benefit of drums or synthesizers or all that stuff. It's just incredible, right?
Yeah.
I love it.
Good talk.
Connextamundo.
Super chat from Kevin O'Hanley.
Kevin O'Hanley.
We're gonna see you in
Kevin
2 weeks, Kevin.
O'Hanley.
Are we?
I think so, in Kansas.
Kevin
you're there.
O'Hanley. He played the banjo.
Very manly.
Kevin O'Hanley. He's very manly. He plays everywhere that he goes.
Upstandly.
Oh, Kevin O'Hanley. He's very upstandly. And up his cousin Flo.
What?
Kevin O'Hanley. He hangs out, he's handy. He plays an old banjo.
The Ballad of Kevin O'Hanley.
The Ballad of Kevin O'Hanley.
Brought to you tonight by
Gingers.
Westinghouse Golden Flake Biscuits.
Oh,
Which we
I'd
can-
like to be enjoying
we,
one
we,
right
we don't have one right
Oh,
now.
no.
But we can pretend.
Maybe we could send Ginger in to bake us some.
Yes.
You're gonna get slapped.
What does Kevin say?
Yeah.
He says, so I put the compensated bridge on my banjo, but it doesn't seem to have made a difference. I think it may need a simple setup.
Banjos are bastards. They're so difficult to set up. I mean, I could do a whole hour on what goes into putting a banjo together the right way. So to give you an idea, just a brief, don't do anything to the banjo based on what I'm going to tell you, because you'll be sorry if you do. But so I'll give you a short list of components about what makes the banjo sound and play the way it should. The first thing is something you can't even see, which are the coordinator rods inside the banjo. There's two rods that, if the banjo's laying flat and the fretboard's up here, there's two rods that go into the heel of the neck and the neck itself. And they traverse the pot. And there's bolts on either end, and the idea is that those truss rods, those coordinator rods, have to be really tight. They have to be snug enough that there's just no movement, but without warping the shell.
Pinching.
Because they'll pull the shell out of round.
Yeah.
That's why it's so dangerous.
You can ovulate your pot.
You can ovulate your pot. But there's a way to adjust them so that the neck, and it also changes the angle of the neck. So there's
that's
all
your action
of this
adjust.
shit going on
Yeah.
just with those two things. And then once you've got that where it's supposed to be, then you have to tighten the head. And there's all kinds of schools of thought about what that is. Is it tuned to A flat? Is it tuned to A440? Is it tuned to G? Is it or what, right? And then there's just so many things. Normally, you just say to somebody, you tighten the banjo head until you can see one half of the bracket front sticking over the head. That's how you tell. The little top, the hook that sticks over, when you see only half of that sticking above the head, that's tight enough. But tightening the head is a nightmare because you tighten one and another one gets loose.
Right.
So you have to tighten in a circle, one after the other. And then you tighten kitty corner all the way around, right? Mm-hmm. And all these things. And then at this point, you're also in danger of over-tightening the head. Mm-hmm. Just trying to get it even. And then, after that, you have to tighten the tailpiece to where it's not loose or pulling the flange out of whack, right? So much shit. And then your position of the bridge has to be perfect to make your intonation right.
Right.
The nut has to be perfect. It's just insanity. Like setting up a banjo is
a nightmare.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
The only guy that I ever knew my entire life, and he was the best I have ever seen, was Russell Soller. He turned my old RB250 from a good Gibson into a fucking cannon, and I watched him do it. And he told me how to do it, but I couldn't understand it. Mm-hmm. He just knew, right? You get in there, like the rods have holes that you just stick a piece of metal through and turn them,
crank
right?
them.
And he's just like, and he had that, and he said, now that neck is sucked up against that
Side
that
of the
pot,
Yeah.
really snug, right? And man, the banjo increased in volume by 30% and playability by 30%. Like everything got better, and just so, man, I'm telling you, it's almost you could. The good thing about it today is you could literally go on YouTube now, probably, and try to find somebody who's really talented at that, and who's willing to teach it on YouTube and watch the video for a week, and just learn how to do it and do it very sparingly. Because if you make a mistake with a banjo, you can pull it out of whack forever. Because that shell is only maple, right? And the parts are supposed to be bell steel, but sometimes they're not, and they can break. You know, flange can snap, your head can snap.
It's a drum.
It is. It's a very ornate, incredibly pissed off drum. Is what it is. It's a redneck drum that yells at you from the woods.
Yeah.
That you better go home with your canoe. That's what it is. So I love banjos though. I love playing them.
Yeah.
Connexto. Sorry, that's much Frank Sinatra there for a second.
I don't know where you picked that up.
What is that?
I don't know.
It's the tomato.
I know that. I just wanted to see if you knew. Next.
Next is super chat from Caper Here.
Caper here, formerly Caper away.
Although
We
I
th-
don't
we
know if it
think.
actually is former Caper
Yeah,
Away.
it
But
might
we haven't
not be.
seen Caper Away.
Well, no, I did. At the top of the messages, there's like something from Caper Away, so I don't
Oh,
think
okay,
it's the
so
same
it's
person.
not the same person. Okay,
All right.
okay.
I don't think it's
That's
the same
good to
person.
know.
Maybe it's somebody who came on watching and saw that other name and decided to take this one. Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
So they say, sent you an email, re mahogany. Want to verify you don't want it for a guitar. Can give it to
Oh
someone
yeah,
else
no.
if you don't want it.
Give it somebody. Give it to somebody else. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't respond to you because it was just so many emails that day. But yeah, I have no need for it. Yeah, I don't have any need for it. I have nobody. I don't nobody. Well,
Hervé.
might use it.
Yeah.
You know what? There's a good thing. I'll tell you
We'll
what
go to
do.
charity. That's good.
Yeah, because he would build a guitar that would raise $5,000 for a charity.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should
Send it here.
send it here,
And we'll
give it to
Hervé.
Hervé Bury. We've done a video on him, as you probably know, on the channel, and we were just with him last night. Went over to his house for a barbecue.
Great
Had a
picture of
lovely
the
night.
guitar in the
Oh
jig
yeah, he's
under
got
construction.
one
amazing.
going right now. It's incredible.
Ginger almost cut her hand off with his laser cutter.
Yes,
Yeah.
I had planar envy.
and I almost cut my liver off with his pork loin in my stomach and everything else because I ate too much.
What
So
do your liver?
yeah, actually, do send it to us if you can.
Yes,
Right.
please, sir. Some
Yeah,
more mahogany.
yes. Write me another email and we'll figure that one out.
Or I'll just find his email and we'll respond to it.
Cool, thank you. Cape or here. You're the man or the woman. I don't know what you are.
Huh?
All right.
Person.
Next.
Next is super chat from Cam.
Cam Disaster.
Now that golf is over, he can join us.
There you
Although
go.
he said he's welding in the rain right now. So.
Oh my God.
Fiddly-dee potatoes, Cam.
Cam.
What's your name?
Dear.
Cam.
Well, that sounds a little
Disastrous.
disastrous.
Cam Disaster.
You big burly man with a welder.
Yes. What are you saying tonight there, old brother?
Well, ever have a nut bust that caused irreparable damage to the head? That's what he has to say.
A nut bust.
Yes, I
That
did.
caused irreparable damage
Yeah,
to
the head looked just like one of the end of those exploding cigars.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of head damage there.
Yeah.
Connect.
Just keep welding in
Connect.
the rain.
Connect.
Focus. Cam also has another super chat.
No, Jesus
Well, he's actually
Christ.
sponsoring another person's question.
Okay.
That's what he's done.
All right.
So
How
the
does that
question,
work?
He likes his question and he wanted it to come to the top of the list. So
Sweet.
There you go.
he sponsored it.
There you go.
The question is from Canso Clay. Sorry, Casino Clay.
Casino.
I got Canso on the mind.
Yeah.
Casino Clay.
Casino clay.
Okay.
I'm turning into a guitar collector and thinking about getting into selling. Any advice that comes to mind to give me? He's a fan over in PEI.
The only advice I can give you is what I've done myself. Is the fastest way that I've ever sold an instrument is on Facebook. And they always take very good pictures of the instrument, close up, in good lighting, preferably with an iPhone or a high-end Android phone, and take very good pictures: headstock, neck, body, inside sticker, back and sides, back of neck, back of headstock, and always include what the guitar is, what year it was, what the normal MSRP for it, and you'd be surprised. I mean, I put guitars on Facebook sometimes, and I'm not shitting you, they last 90 seconds, and somebody's bought them. Mm-hmm. Like, people watch on, and I'm not talking about Facebook Market and all that crap. I'm just talking about your own page. Just put them out there. I'm selling this. People share it, and the next thing you know, it's gone. You can sell a guitar in literally minutes. I just did it. I just sold a bunch of stuff here last fall when we were,
Cleaning up.
pandemic and cleaning up and all that shit, right? Gone. And gone all over the world. The banjo went to Calgary. The guitar went to Ontario. One went to Edmonton. It was just instant. Everything was gone in one day.
Just off the top of the head. Remember that little weed bender banjo that I used to have? That 1890s little weed bender that was scooped out for clawhammer?
Yeah.
I sold that on Kijiji to a guy in Toronto who flew down.
Oh.
I met him in arrivals at the airport in Halifax.
Yeah.
He took a look at it, handed me the cash, walked down, got his boarding pass, went through security, and flew back to Calgary.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing ever.
And people
Just reminded me of
people want something, and they want their safe,
Yep.
They'll do anything.
Yeah.
They get the money. Do it.
Interesting.
Next is a super chat from Mark Smith.
Mark Smith.
Oh, he's got to be new.
No.
No.
No. Okay.
His name just common, not new.
Biff,
Do you
Biff
think
Drywall.
Biff Drywall. Ted Pedway. Bill Ditch.
Clem Cohog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, good old Clem.
Good old Clem.
Yeah.
Do you think a full-on Stanfest will happen next year, and yourself and Gunning will be there? If so,
I have no idea, and I just
Hopefully.
don't know. I don't know.
I can tell you that the dates for Stanfest has been solidified and announced, and the website should be up to date.
I think it has a
And-
date on there. Yeah.
And notwithstanding any pandemic unforeseen
This is the problem.
circumstances, yeah,
This is the problem.
yeah. But
We should be there.
notwithstanding that, there will be Stanfest next summer.
And hopefully we'll all be there.
Okay, next.
Next is a super chat from Lisa Raslier Lavoie.
Holy shit.
She's not new.
Nope.
No?
No.
I've had to say that name before.
Yeah.
I see.
Yep.
Okay.
12 string. Some reverse order where the octave strings are below the bass strings. Your thoughts? Doyle Duncan reverse string 6 and Rock Chicago's 5 or 6 2 to 4 on Sweetwater's channel. A lot of numbers there.
Yeah, I've never this is only the second time in my entire life I've ever heard of that being done, and it just seems to be bullshit to me. There's a reason why the treble strings are on top, because they're so small.
Mm-hmm.
If you put the treble strings under the big strings, you don't hit them. It gets much harder to hit them.
Yeah, it affects
So-
not only the technique, it
And
affects how the
tension.
playability.
Yeah, it's just horrible. So I don't understand why anybody would do that unless they were concerned with the fact that their right hand facility is shite and they can't do an upstroke on the 12 string and hit the treble string.
Mm-hmm.
That's why only reason anybody would do that is because their right hand facility is not good. So they want to put the trebles in the bottom, so if they do an arpeggio that has upstrokes in it,
Yeah.
they're getting the little strings
Those
first. If you learn to play a 12 string, which takes about 30 seconds, you learn to hit both strings on the upstring, right?
But
on the upstroke.
having said that, the 12 string is not what I would call a incredibly articulated instrument in the first place.
It depends. I mean, look at Leadbelly, Leo Kottke, Glenn Campbell.
Yeah,
Like, there's some Rick
but there's
Emmett.
a lot going on
Oh, yeah.
playing a 12 string.
Oh, there's a
so
ton.
it's not the same kind of concise sound that a 6 string can be.
Yeah. No, it's not, but it can be played
It can be played well, no
very
doubt.
intricately, and the whole structure of the guitar, the way it's strung, creates the sound of it.
Mm-hmm.
If the treble strings are on the bottom of the pairs, it just doesn't happen the same way.
I would tend to
right?
agree with you. That's a bit of an artsy,
Yeah.
somebody trying to do their own thing to stand
Yeah,
out.
yeah. I don't think that that's a good plan. I also don't think that it's. I don't think it's that good for the neck. Really, you're only changing tensions by what, a 1/16 of an inch or an eighth of an inch. That matters, right? It slightly changes what's going on. You don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I just think that it's. I know how difficult it is to play a 12 string well, but it's not hard if you just use your head and it's all in the right hand. It's how you. It's your attack. You have to alter your attack, not in the downstroke, but in the upstrokes, so that you do get both strings on an upstroke, right? And it's easy. You just got to take a few minutes and figure it out, and then you got it, and you sound like $1 million. So there you go. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. I apologize if I am.
Next.
Let's get to the last of the super chats because we're getting close to question time.
We got a super chat from Tim Bennett.
Tim Bennett.
Hey, Tim Bennett.
Good to see you, buddy. It's probably 18 in the morning.
Happy Wednesday, Tim.
Love you, brother.
Hope you're
It might
safe
be
and
Thursday
sound.
there. Hi, JP, Ginger, and Chris. Just want to support my favorite channel, but surprised to see you play a composite guitar. If you're interested in others, check out Emerald Guitars from Ireland. Incredible ergonomic features.
Yeah, I've been checking them out for years, but they're like $8 billion. They're just
Billions
ridiculous.
and billions.
Oh yeah, billions,
and billions,
and
billions and billions and billions.
They appear every one that I've seen, and you go on their website and build one, like a car.
Right. And order
And
it.
the one that I built was
The
like
gross domestic product of Australia.
Yeah. It was like 12 grand.
Yeah.
And I didn't even go crazy. I was like, holy crap. Like, yeah, I just can't see it. I'm not going to pay that for a composite anymore than I'd pay it for a Martin. It's no guitar's worth that much unless it's built for, I mean, Robin could build you a $12,000 guitar. Yamaha, Hamamatsu could, Connie Japan, Yeri could, any of these small shop builders could, but holy crap. I mean, I don't even know about guitars that cost that much, like readily available.
There's a finite point to reach.
There is.
Yeah.
When you're looking over 10 grand for a guitar, you're looking at something that's not even.
And a composite guitar at that.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
it's not saying they're not incredible. They probably are. But, man, who can afford it? It's the same thing as, it's the same thing as McPherson. When they came out, they weren't doing anything new. Tacoma did it before them. Ovation did it before them. They had this sound port, blah blah blah, like whatever, and they're $9,000-$10,000 like out of the gate.
Yeah. And
And they
personally
weigh
speaking,
40 pounds.
I don't think they have the sound to write
No,
that, to sign that
they
check.
don't. They don't.
No.
They can't back it up. They're pretty. They're artisan instruments, but they are not. I mean, any guitar in this room I have could eat one.
They're
for
not
lunch.
worth your first child.
No, and I'm sorry to say that. I know a lot of people play them, and mind you, maybe they're great plugged in and they're fancy on the stage and blah blah. But man, I want a tool. I need a tool that works on stage, works in
You
the
got
studio.
one right
Yeah,
here.
you're a fucking tool. Anyhow,
Good.
next.
Sorry.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go on a rant. I'm sorry if I apologize to McPherson and Emerald. I mean that, but I mean, come on, boys. Let's all work together.
Let's get real.
If you want us to play your guitars, like at least give us a chance.
I could do
That
two
we don't
lines,
have
like
to
a high price and a
That
low
we don't
price
have to
line.
sell both the dogs and part of my kidney and half my. Never mind. Okay, go ahead.
A super chat from Cam,
Cam disaster.
just
Welder
encouraging
in
people
the
to hit the like button.
Welder in the rain.
Welder.
What is it?
You're just encouraging people to hit the like button.
Thank you very much, and the subscribe button. please.
Welders in the
Yeah.
mist.
If you can.
Sigourney Weaver.
Welders in the mist.
Sigourney Cleaver.
Cam is a bit gorilla-like.
He is a little bit gorilla.
You got any super chats left?
There's just one question that I just want to finish with.
Okay.
It's from Jasper North.
Jasper.
How do you fill up the time between songs? Stories I know, but also sometimes a down strum chord. To me, that's an art and really difficult to do. Do you prepare it or does it come natural?
You have to have a really big fucking mouth. That's the only way to describe it. You can't get on stage and become timid. You have to talk to the audience like I'm talking to you right now. That's what they want to hear. They don't want to do all this stupid self-deprecating oh shucks bullshit. Talk to them like you're talking to your best friend. And if you're going to tell them a story, you tell them a story, but you try to find the humor in every story that you tell. And if you find that's something you say gets a big laugh, keep it. Put it in every show. And if you start collecting enough of those, all of a sudden your banter becomes another song.
Your banter is part of the show.
Absolutely.
Look at Dave Gunning. He hasn't changed his banter in
No, his show.
20
that's
years.
all his show is.
It is.
He
People
only
just
sings-
come
he
to
only
hear the
sings
sad
one
little
song.
stories.
Yeah, he only sings one song.
Yeah.
One song.
I don't even know if he gets through the whole thing before he starts talking again.
Or tuning.
We're just breathing.
Shucks.
rubbing his
Dandy.
lip.
Yeah. Pulling his eyebrows out.
Yeah.
Love you,
Love you,
Dave. Can't wait to see you this weekend.
So,
What's the question?
The question is, I have to double check this so I don't make a mistake. And I'm going to do that just now. So the question is it going to be about close guitars?
Okay.
Because I just think they're kind of cool. They've had a lot
We're
of
enjoying one on the stand right now.
That's right.
That's for you.
That was Hervé Bury
There you go.
Oh.
saying hello. And thank you to all of us.
I want to come see your shop, Hervé.
Yes, I knew
Yes,
you
yes,
would.
So the question is,
Please stand by for
Question
the
is,
sponsored message.
I can't use that question because I can't find the answer and I can't remember it.
All right.
Oh, very new question.
Well,
So that sucks a bit. I usually have no problems.
are you
know.
short on a question?
No, well, I am short on the question, all right, but I'm
What-
just.
what do you
I
ask
got a
me-
question for you.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Right, it's sitting right behind Jill. What's
Yeah.
the model?
Right, we'll have to use that. Sorry. Yes.
Before you ask the question, who
Oops.
were the winners from last week, just so we know who can't win?
Oh.
So last week we had Jay Gallant and Kenny Holden.
Okay, so the only
You
two,
cannot win this week.
the only two people who can't win.
Yep, only two people can't win. What is the model and builder of my favorite guitar amp that I use all the time?
There you go. Should be easy.
Everybody says, "You're welcome, Chris."
Thank you, Hervé.
Yes, sir.
We'll set that
We
up.
love you guys. Hervé and Lorraine Brewery. Fantastic. Who do we got?
Come on, that's an easy
Do you
one.
need both words? Or
Yep.
just
I
the-
need, I need
Maker-
the, I need
make
the
and model.
maker and the model.
Okay.
Come on.
It's actually 3 words.
Come on to her, boys.
It's the company and the
Come right on to her, boys.
yes.
So
come right
you
on
want
to
all
it.
3
Driver.
words. Okay, the first one. So we got a few just Fishman.
Yeah.
Then we got Fishman artist.
Yes. What's the
Yep.
name? What's the name of the amp?
Then we got Fishman loudbox artist.
There you go. I'll take
That's
that.
it.
Who's that?
That's Dan Tube 1.
Oh,
Ooh,
cool.
Dan Tube.
Dan
Nice to hear ya.
Tube 1. You are now entered in the big draw.
The really big
A
draw.
really big draw.
How big?
And we
It's
when
big!
when we get 50 people, we get 50 people in here.
Oh dear.
There'll be a prize package that's, as I said last week, will be accumulated between all 3 stores. At the
Big enough to blow you away!
Wait.
With wacky
Who's
waving
next?
arm flailing inflatable tube men.
Yes. Who's next?
The next person that I got all
By the
3
way, it
names-
is the Fishman Artist Loudbox. So that's what we're looking for.
Oh,
Or
not the
something-
Fishman artist loudmouth.
No, not you. No. The Fishman Artist Lardass. That's me. The Fishman Artist Lardass
And the
and the
loudmouth.
Fishman Artist Loudmouth. There you go, right there.
the next person to get all 3 names is Caper Away.
Caper away. Whoa, she's in the draw.
Nice.
They're in the draw.
And we know that you're still away and you're not caper here.
So, Dan Tube 1, send us an email right now to jpcormier38@gmail.com. You'll go in the database of the 50 people we're going to pick out of this to get this huge prize. And caper away as well. Send an email right now to jpcormier38@gmail.com, as you already have, as you've won weekly prizes before. Now we have 4 people in the draw. Jay Gallant, Kenny Holden, Dan Tube 1, and Caper Away are all in the draw.
Those are all good loyal names.
They
right
are.
there.
They are.
And they've all won the guarantee
They all-
prize.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And the guarantee prize will also be after the draw for the big prize. Everyone, all
Gets the
50
guaranteed
all
prize.
50 people get to come to a
A
private.
host concert by you at their house for 100 of your closest friends.
Yeah, all 50 people.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you take a long suck of my arse? No, you'll all be invited to a private YouTube concert where I'll be here for an hour with you and play whatever you want. I'm gonna just play my arse off for everybody. And
Ginger's going to play mandolin, by the way.
that's right.
Nobody wants to hear that.
Yes, they do.
Yep.
Yes, they do. So there you go, guys and girls. Another
Cheers,
Wednesday
everybody.
in the books. My good buddy Chris Coote couldn't do this without you.
Love you.
Love you too, man.
Gonna have a good weekend.
Yeah,
this
we are.
weekend
Yes, we
up
are.
in Antigonish.
Yes, we are.
Hopefully some of our string theory people will be there.
That's
That's
right.
right.
And the amazing Ginger. I almost said Jazinga.
The amazing
You get
Bazinga.
the
Bazinga.
you get the Bazinga shirt on,
Hit your Bazinga shirt.
my Bazinga shirt, and so yeah, a big thanks out to all our partners again, and a big hello to Hervé and Lorraine. Thank you so much for watching us, and there you go. There's string theory, and just remember, the guy who has the most guitars at the end,
Has to sell them all.
well, maybe, but you know what the worst nightmare is in life for a guitar player is that when he dies, his wife will sell his guitars for what he told her he paid for them. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.